Wow, we've been forgetting this whole time. Every single time.
Yeah.
Okay, am I cute?
Yeah, you're cute, baby. Your hair is very nice. I like that you're wearing that sweater and your lips look luscious and your face is beautiful.
Okay. Thank you, baby.
You're welcome.
Okay. Hello and welcome back to Where Do I Sit podcast. I am one of your hosts, Sasha. This is your other host, Alessia, who is also my wife.
Hi.
My lover, my gay lover of 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
We are here today to talk about some very interesting... Well, we've been here talking about some very interesting topics, but today specifically is very, very interesting. I think I say that every time.
Yeah.
But it is really interesting.
To us,
today.
it's really interesting, okay?
Everything is interesting. Okay, anyways, if you like us and you want to support this podcast and make sure that we continue to give you free, full-length, wonderful episodes, please like, subscribe, give us 5 stars, something. And comment too, because it's through your comments that we know really how this is going and how you're feeling, and gives us guidance and lets us know if we should keep going or if we should shut the fuck up. So please,
Sweet.
Make yourselves known to us somehow. Love you guys. Thank you very much. Enjoy the episode. Today, we are talking about...
Faking orgasms.
Oh, shit.
Do
See?
you fake orgasms?
I told you it was really interesting.
Yeah.
Come on, you can't tell me that's not a hot topic.
Yeah. So we have a lot to say about this. We've also, we've done some research for this topic, a little bit of research that we wanted to share. Sometimes it will have some comparisons, lesbian sex versus hetero sex for women and men. So there will be some comparisons here and there. And we don't mean to shit on anyone, but we do agree that lesbian sex is better. And we're going to tell you why.
We do agree that lesbian sex is better.
Yeah, that's where I sit. Episode done.
That's fine. Should I start by just asking you the hot question?
Ask me.
Have you ever faked an orgasm, my love?
I have in the past.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And you?
Oh, yeah. Come on now. I used to sleep with dudes. Of course I faked orgasms.
Yeah. So let's travel back in time for a second.
Uh-huh.
Back in the day, I feel like porn had a very big influence on women faking orgasms. And this was also part of the research, but it was basically, it taught women to be performative kind of, and to exaggerate, and oh my God, this is amazing and all this stuff. And when I was reading about that, I thought of 2 experiences that I've had in the past. The first one being the Oh My God Girl. That I was just I literally touched her shoulder. She's like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So there was that. And I was like, is this a fucking joke right now? I'm in the other room and you're yelling
This never gets old. I love this story so much.
Yeah. And so, yeah. So there was that one. But also, you and I hooked up with a chick, which wasn't too long ago. And I felt I think the reason why she was so performative was because that she's usually with men.
She had some performative moments. It wasn't the whole
We
time.
had to tell her to breathe and calm down.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't so crazy yet. We were coming in there sensual, soft, and
starting nice and slow.
Yeah. And everything was just so intense immediately for her. And we had to be shh, shh, shh. We had to be shh, calm down. Take a breath. Take a fucking breath. We didn't even start yet.
Yeah, so, she went full on performative mode, but
immediately.
But
bam.
So the reason for that is, I don't know for sure, but I'm 99% sure that she probably felt the need to be performative for 2 reasons. She'd never had sex with 2 women before, and she's used to having sex with men. Okay, so this was one of the very, very few. She's had sex with a girl in the past, one-on-one, but she's never had the full-on experience of like two women, like a threesome with two women, especially two women who are like very much pro, like.
And she said
take your time, be genuine, and be authentic. Yeah, it's okay if you don't come, you know?
Yeah. But she had told us about her experience with the other girl, and it wasn't like too crazy. Like she said, the girl just did stuff to her, and that was it. Like,
oh yeah,
you know. So it wasn't.
Yeah, you're right. It wasn't even like a full experience. Yeah,
it wasn't a whole thing. So, and then the next like experience you have is with us. Like,
yeah. So my theory is because she's used to sleeping with dudes, so she came into this thinking that she needs to like impress us the way that she thinks she needs to impress dudes. But especially that there's two of us. So she was putting on a little bit of a performative kind of act or whatever. And we saw right through it, you know. I mean, it was still very enjoyable. And we enjoyed every, you know, we enjoyed our experience with her. However, there was a moment where we both kind of looked at each other and we were like, this is
because we were pretty sure she faked an orgasm.
Yeah. And to give a little bit more detail on that, as to like why we think she faked an orgasm, is because she was like on all fours and I was like doing stuff to her from the back with my hands and stuff. And I wasn't trying to make her come yet because I felt like, I mean, I thought we were in the middle of it and we weren't going to try and make each other come yet. So I was just pleasuring her, like just stimulating her from the back. And all of a sudden she turns into a full-blown vocal orgasm and I'm just like, what
where'd that come from?
Why is she coming right now? Like, I'm not even, I know if I'm trying to make you come, like I know what to do. Like I typically know, I know every woman's different. I can read the body and I know how vaginas work. Like I know how vulvas, I know how to like where to touch a vulva to make it come for, you know, for most women. So it's kind of like what I was doing. I know that she was not coming. I know she was not coming. There was no way that the tempo wasn't right. The location of my hand and fingers weren't right. Like there's no way that she was actually coming. But then it turned into like a full-blown orgasm apparently. And so like I kind of knew in the moment, like, and I was kind of bummed out, to be honest, in the moment. Like I had a feeling as she was pretending to come, I was just like touching her in my secretly inside of me. I was just like,
damn it,
why you
don't have to do that.
Why
you don't gotta do that.
Why are you faking right now? Like it's not necessary. Like, so yeah, it bummed me out a bit, but I was just like, okay, whatever makes you comfortable, I guess. So we just kept going and whatever. But yeah, it bummed me out. But I think you also saw what was happening and you looked at me. You gave me a quick look and we were both like,
all right,
nah, this ain't real. Yeah. So my theory is because she has sex with men, so she felt the pressure to perform exactly. Yeah.
So I feel like back in the day it was easier to fool people, and it was like, yeah, like kind of what I was saying before about how porn influences you, but like there was also like magazines influencing you. Like there was so many articles in magazines of like how to make yourself more attractive to men, or how to pleasure your man, or like the best ways to make your man want you. And it's all about him, and nothing about your pleasure back in the day.
Yeah.
But now I feel like women's pleasure is like really more of a hot topic.
Yeah.
And a lot of women are talking about it and vocalizing it. And so I think it's like really helping a lot.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was a different time back then. Like, and I'm speaking for myself. When I used to date men, like I didn't know better. Like I also was basing myself off of like what I thought I was supposed to do, which was often from porn, and just talking to guys and talking to like straight girls, and you know, you getting fed all these messages as to like how you need to be in bed. And also I wasn't out at the time yet, so I had to kind of like, you know, just kind of do what everyone else was doing and whatnot. So there was this pressure to flatter a guy's ego, but more importantly though, for me, it was, how quickly can I end this shit? You know, so it was more like I would often put myself in a position where I would just fake an orgasm just for this to get over, to get it over with, because I really wasn't having that much fun. Because two reasons: one, I was gay but didn't know it, and then the second one is the guys rarely ever showed any interest to make me come in the first place. Yeah. But I think that was over 15 years ago or so. It was way before you. And at the time we were very young, and so were the dudes back then. They were also young men, and they also were basing themselves. They also
didn't know better.
They did know better, but you know, like, it's all about like, you know, how to look macho and how to like,
yeah, but the porn, they're probably watching twice as much porn, so they're getting fed twice as much garbage.
So that's exactly what I was getting at, is like they were probably influenced by porn, and which is typically straight porn is typically very, very performative, and it's not realistic, and it's
all about the guy's pleasure.
Not all about the guy's pleasure, or mostly about the guy's pleasure, and when it is about the female pleasure, it is so wildly inaccurate.
And performative
that, you know, they were just kind of trying to do what they thought they were supposed to do, and we, the women, were trying to do what we thought we were supposed to do, and it was all one big performative act, and no one was actually having fun. We were just all faking it because we thought that's what we were just supposed to do. Well, I mean, we were all, meaning the women, not all, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But really for me, it was just to end it quicker because I just wasn't having fun, and there was no focus on foreplay, like very little focus on foreplay, and like I also didn't really know my body as well as I do now. So yeah, it was just a lot of factors were at play that caused me to fake orgasms at the time.
I can relate with the wanting to get it over with part.
I think a lot of people can relate to that.
Yeah. We did a lot of research on like lesbian sex and how they have less reasons to fake orgasms, which is really cool. And then there was like a bunch of reasons, but we're going to kind of go with the ones that we would like to kind of share and that we relate to, you know? So one that was really cool was that lesbians really focus on pleasure. It's not like what?
Got it. You got it? Got it. Keep talking.
It's good?
Yeah, it's good.
So lesbian sex, the focus is different. It's really more on like pleasure rather than like a finish line.
Yeah.
You know, because
it's more about the actual experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, they're like, of course we have a goal to like make each other come, but that's not like the focus, you know? Like the focus is, like you said, like about the experience and like pleasuring each other, and maybe orgasm isn't like the 100% goal, you know?
It's about the journey, not the destination.
Yeah, like there's so much enjoyment in foreplay, and getting to the orgasm is sometimes like so hot, and like just as hot as an orgasm, you know?
And attention to detail.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is I feel like lesbian sex, or just queer sex in general between women, is just very much, it's mindful, you know? Like you really feel and enjoy and indulge in every single touch, every kiss, every
smell,
everything, you know? I mean, at least for me,
senses.
Like, and the women that I've been with, like it's very much like we're very present with each other, and we enjoy every single moment together, and the connection is stronger, it's more intimate, you know? Like you feel like you're really present with the person in the experience.
I actually have something super interesting to share with you that's going to blow your mind.
Okay.
I'm going to read it because I don't want to fuck it up. Okay. So lesbian sex is longer and focused on mutual pleasure. Studies show that the average lesbian sex session lasts 30 to 45 minutes, whereas whereas hetero sex averages at 5 to 7 minutes.
5 to 7 minutes.
5 to 7 minutes.
Average.
Yeah.
5 to 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Woo!
Now this study could be a little bit outdated, but like, even if it was updated and it's a little longer, that's still pretty like, ugh. Like
5 to
ouch.
7 minutes, bro.
Yeah.
So it's basically, it averages just very quick quickies.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the reason why lesbian sex is longer is because, like you were saying, there's more kissing, there's more touching, there's a lot of oral sex.
Lots of foreplay.
Yeah,
we take our fucking sweet ass time with foreplay.
And a lot of rounds, multiple rounds.
Right, that
so
makes
that
sense.
both partners are satisfied.
That makes perfect sense. I would assume that because women, or at least lots of women have the ability to come more than once, whereas very few, me too, whereas very few men can come multiple times, especially back to back. So, yeah, I can see how that alone would elongate the entire experience for sure.
I didn't tell you this morning, but last night I was masturbating on the couch like I usually do. Mm-hmm. And I guess I accidentally turned on a workout on my Apple Watch, and it chose Stairstepper. And it was 89 minutes, and I burned like 275 calories.
Nice. Wow.
I don't know if I was doing it the entire time. Like, I take breaks, but I was like, wow, this counts. This workout counts.
Good for you.
Yeah, so I thought you'd find that funny.
Yeah.
Another super important point is better communication in bed.
Yeah.
Huge. So lesbian couples talk about sex more openly. What we like, what we don't like, what works, what's going to bring us to orgasm, what we like to start with, and we understand each other better. Mm-hmm. You have a lot to say about understanding each other better, no?
I do. I feel like, well, this is reminding me of one story that I feel like I could share. Back in the day when I used to date men, it's always back in the day. Yeah. Back in the day, I was having sex with a dude and he was fingering me and he wasn't doing it right, like, at all. Like, he was kind of hurting me. So I was like, hey, buddy, slow down, you know? Mm. And so I was like, slow down. Okay. So he, like, tried to slow down, but it really wasn't a slow down. It was, like, barely anything. So still not slow enough for me. So I repeated to him again. I was like, hey, do you mind even slower? And he was like, slower? Okay. So he like
surprised, like, what?
Like he tried to go slower, but it really was not slow enough. And I think I even told him a third time, like, much slower. And he still wasn't going slow enough for me. And I was just like, all right, time to fake it then.
Yeah.
So I faked it and it was over and I was so relieved because I was just like, he just was not listening to me. Like, I'm literally telling you what I need, what my body needs. I've told you 3 times and you're just fucking jackhammering my pussy because you think, like, that's the way women come because that's what they show in porn. When you, like, jackhammer a vagina with your dick or with your fingers and then the girl squirts all over the walls. Hey, I got news for you. Mm-hmm. Women bodies don't actually work like that most of the time. Mm-hmm. So if you can just fucking put your ego aside for a second and listen and also focus on what actually feels good as opposed to what looks good.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would help a lot.
Lesbians do a lot of check-ins during sex.
Yeah.
A lot of checking in, like, does this feel good? And if it doesn't, you adjust. Yeah, I've literally actually adjust.
Never had anyone check on me, any guy check in on me.
No, women
sex.
check.
Because I feel like women are happy to be guided because our main purpose is to please one another and for mutual pleasure. Whereas men, they don't take guidance as well. It, like, automatically hits their egos. It, like, bruises them instantly and they're just like, oh. Even if you bring up toys or if you bring up more lube and it's just like, No, I don't want to generalize because there are some great, fantastic dudes out there. I'm sure a lot of them are great in bed, but for the most part, to be honest,
Yeah, we know
from
one
my
straight couple.
experience and all the straight women that I know that I've spoken to, and that's a lot of them, there's a lot of ego there. There's a lot of ego during heterosexual sex, and I feel like lesbian sex is a lot less ego-based, like ego-focused. Like, I mean,
you're with lesbians, you're less likely to hurt your partner's feelings and ego because, like you're saying, they're more receptive to guidance and feedback, and they want it.
Exactly.
Because, like, as I'm pleasuring you most of the time, I'm not actually, because I don't have a part of me that's inside you that is getting pleasure at the same time. So all of my focus is on your pleasure. And if you give me guidance or like any suggestions, I'm going to take them because like in the moment I'm focusing on your pleasure.
Right. I want to bring up like a visual for people who are listening here. Over a glass of wine or whatever while you're nice and like cozy on the couch or getting close or whatever. How sexy would it be if you just asked your partner like, I really want to make sure that I pleasure you the way you like to be pleasured. I want to know what
everybody's different.
Yes, and I want to know, what do you like and what do you not like? I want to know your boundaries so I make sure that I respect them and just make sure that, you know, I do my absolute best to make you satisfied and make you happy, you know? Like how sexy. How sexy
That's
would that
what you
be?
did to me the first time we had sex, and I thought that was very sexy.
I mean, I think that should be standard.
Yeah.
And I don't know why people have such a hard time doing that or feel so awkward doing that. I think it's so fucking sexy and attractive. And it like sets the tone, and it's like, you know, the person's intentions now, and they're right where they should be. They're there to make sure that they're listening to you and they're in tune with your body and your pleasure, and they want to make sure that they get you there. Like it's almost like dirty talk, you know? It's almost like a form of foreplay.
It is.
So, you know, and then you have that to kind of like refer back to during sex where, you know, you can say stuff like, is this what you were talking about? Is this, you know, is this to your liking? Should I change anything? Would you prefer I do something else? Do you want it faster? Do you want it slower? You know, like it's so sexy, and I don't understand why.
It takes the guessing out of it.
It takes the pressure off.
Takes the pressure off.
For sure.
It helps a lot.
Yeah. So
like imagine your go-to thing was ass eating, and they don't like ass eating. And like you didn't ask and you just start eating ass. You gotta ask if you're gonna eat ass.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah.
I mean, everybody is so different, like you said. So it's like, how do you just walk into something like that with your eyes closed? Like you're just guessing around a person's body. So that brings me to another thing, is like how to read people's bodies too. I feel like women are better naturally, obviously, because we're the same gender. We have similar body parts.
Bodies better.
We understand the female anatomy a lot better.
Exactly.
So it's kind of like I can kind of gauge if you're really enjoying yourself or not. I can tell if you're feeling very tense, or if you're a little tensed up, or if you're a little stressed, or I could tell by the tone of your voice if you're enjoying it. Exactly. I could tell by your reactions, your moans, like, you know, it's just there's a lot of things. And I can also tell on like your, you know, like for example, you, like when you're getting close to coming, you get all blotchy and red on your chest, you know, like me, sometimes my breasts enlarge a little bit. You also get
red on the chest too.
Yeah, and I get goosebumps and stuff. Like it's all things that like women kind of know about one another's bodies, and that really helps us kind of gauge where we're at with pleasuring the other person.
Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, there's also that we have an advantage of, for sure.
Yeah. And I don't know if we already said this, but we talked about like how you taste different when you have an orgasm.
No, we didn't actually. I don't think we did.
Okay, well,
so
that's how you can, like, there's so many ways to tell if an orgasm was faked. So women can really kind of tell by
some women. Let's say.
We're gonna give you some tips right now. Cum tastes different than wetness.
Yeah.
It's hot because it's coming from within, like fat, and it's coming out a bit faster. So the temperature is warmer.
it's harder to fake with women. Like, I've never faked with a woman before because I'm terrified of getting caught. Okay, like, I just know that women are way too smart about this shit. Like, I feel like I would get instantly caught the way that
just like we caught that.
The way that I would be able to catch another person
yeah.
faking with me as well. But there's certain indicators that you can't really miss. Like, for example, the texture of cum, like coming from an orgasm.
Yeah.
Like, immediately after an orgasm, the cum feels different. The texture is different. The taste is different. The temperature is different. And it looks a little different too. So, yeah, it's when you know, you know.
You know. Yeah. Because we feel more comfortable with women. Like, I feel 100% comfortable to say, like, mid-sex, like, if they're trying to make me come and I can't, I'm so comfortable saying, like, I can't, like, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Or it's not gonna happen in this position, or like, you know, whatever, like, or I need a little break or something, like it, that it's not gonna happen, because they understand that, like, our vaginas sometimes, they just, like, don't cooperate sometimes, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And, like, when you communicate that with another woman, they'll understand it because they get it. And also, it takes, like, the pressure off of the situation of them, like, trying to make you come.
Exactly.
Takes the pressure off. And then I feel, like, a relief that I said it, and, like, she is like, okay, now I don't have to break my neck anymore. That's cool. And, like, you kind of get more comfortable with each other.
Exactly. And you don't bruise their egos too.
Yeah.
Like, they don't take it in a really personal way, like, oh, I'm not good enough.
They, like,
now they're gonna think I'm
appreciate
not
it.
good in bed. It's like, actually, no, this is a very healthy way of going about intimacy. It's just telling each other honestly, like, where you're at, and just, you know, your body best, and communicating your needs and your state is the best way to just take the pressure off, for sure. And there's nothing to take personally.
It's so nice.
It is nice. I love it. Weren't you telling me a story once about how this guy once got mad at you for coming before him?
Yeah.
But you were really young, though.
Yeah, we were young, and
another stupid.
We were having sex, and he thought he knew what he was doing, but he didn't. And so I was just, like, touching myself, and then I was like, I'm gonna come, and he was like, no, and I was like, fuck you. I'm gonna come. And he was like, wait, and I just kept going, and I came, and he was like, why'd you do that? And I was just like, you know what, I'm going. I'm leaving. Like, what do you mean, why did I do that? Like, because I want to come, and you can't make me, so I'm gonna fucking do it myself. And that's that. And then I was like, okay, I'm good, bye. Fucking for real.
Yeah,
he was genuinely mad. He was mad. That's why I left immediately. I was like, fuck this. Like, what?
I'm so grossed out.
Yeah.
I have secondhand embarrassment for him.
That was probably one of the last times
that you've had sex with a dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. Me too. In my old days, like,
but I had just started sleeping with women, and, you know, when you, like, sometimes, like, you, like, check, you know, you go back to a guy and you check
to make sure that you're, like, really, really gay.
Fail.
Yeah.
Major fail. Fuck.
Anyways, the point is not to, like, shit on men.
Yeah.
It's really just to show, like, the difference. Like, there's such an extreme difference between the way that lesbians experience intimacy and sex in comparison to the way heterosexual sex has been the way heterosexual sex goes down. And there's science behind it, and it proves it. There's statistics behind it as well. And obviously, the biggest advantage that we have as women having sex with other women is that we know and understand each other's bodies the best, much more than men will ever be able to. And that's perfectly normal. Yeah. But there's also a lot of societal pressures that come into play as well. There's a lot of that adds to this huge disparity.
Do you want to hear some stats?
I do want to hear some stats.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. The Orgasm Gap.
Oh shit! Yes, I've heard about this.
We did a little video with PH back in the day, right? Talking about the Orgasm Gap.
Yeah,
was it about
that was so long ago.
That was a really long time ago. But like, it's nice that like it's being talked about a lot more.
Oh
now.
Yeah,
so
100%.
It's great.
100%.
Okay. So the Orgasm Gap. Mm-hmm. Okay. 86% of lesbians having lesbian sex achieve orgasm during the experience. Mm-hmm. Hetero women, it's 65%. So that's a big gap there. And then bisexual women, it's 66%.
It's 1% more because of the occasional lesbian sex that they have.
Yeah. Men achieve orgasm 95% of the time in hetero sex.
Yeah.
So
tough life.
After men, it's lesbian women.
Right.
I don't know the stats for gay men. It's probably high up there too.
Oh, it's probably
great.
It's probably in the 80s or
probably
the 90s.
Solid. Yeah.
Yeah. Two men together.
High 80s, low 90s.
Bro.
Could be 99, you never know.
Honestly, it could be.
It might be. But I love that lesbian sex is 86%.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's a power move.
Yeah.
On the lesbian community for sure. I do just want to say something. I do want to say that times have really changed from back in the day when we used to have sex with dudes. Yeah. Shitty sex with dudes. So it changed now in a much better way for women in the sense that now there's so much more awareness around female pleasure and the female anatomy
and talking about
where the clit is. And it's just, I feel like now people, or let me say men, can get away with it a lot less in the sense that back then it wasn't a priority for men to make women come, at least in my experience and all the experience of everybody else that I knew and spoke to. It wasn't a thing to try to make a woman come. It wasn't a thing. In my experience, I've never had a single man ask me, what do I need to come? Or even try to get me there. So whenever I was, over it, I'd just pretend like I'm coming, and then he'd assume that like, oh, sex is over now, or I guess I should wrap it up. Yeah, buddy, wrap it up, because it's not happening. But anyways, I think back then they could get away with never asking about women's bodies and women's pleasure. But now there's so much more education around it and awareness around it that like they can probably get away with it a lot less. So I think women also are made a lot more aware of their own pleasure, and we're a lot closer to like wanting mutual pleasure now, I think, as like any, like across all genders and orientations. So I think that's a great thing for everybody to enjoy themselves equally in bed. And that's how it should be. Sex is a two-way street. If you're coming, you need to try to, or at least ask what the other person needs to get them there as well, if they want to and if it's possible for them.
So at basically, least try. What you're saying is that everyone should learn from lesbian sex.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Lesbian sex is the way to go. It's the best sex. The best communication.
The longest sex.
The longest.
The most satisfying
The most satisfying. The most mutual. The most respectful. I could keep going.
The most consensual. Communicative.
Collaborative.
Yes. Collaborative is the magic word.
Yes.
It is very much a collaboration.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think there's anything really wrong with faking an orgasm? Do you think people should stop faking orgasms?
I don't think there's anything really wrong with it, but I just wish that people really prioritize their pleasure more than other people's feelings.
Right.
And really like what you said earlier about how hot it would be if someone would ask you what you like in bed.
Yeah, just to avoid this whole faking orgasm shit,
Like when we were talking with Sarah on the episode, and she said that she heard from a previous episode of ours that you did that to me, and that we really highly suggest people doing that and asking what people like and stuff like that. And then she went on a date and did that, and it was just amazing for the first time that she did that. And I feel like if there's anything that you can take away from this episode, it's really that when you're going to go on your next date or your next partner or your current partner, if you haven't done it yet, to ask them what they like, really listen, and actually do it, and do check-ins during and check-ins after and multiple check-ins and check. And like just better communication in bed is just great for everyone of any gender, of any,
Me too. I agree with that 100%. And my stance on that.
To smallen the orgasm gap. To smallen
the orgasm gap.
Small it.
Yeah. Make it more small.
Make it more small.
Well, where I sit on that is I think we should stop faking orgasms to just, protect other people's feelings. Instead, I really encourage like open communication, and I really, really, really want people to be comfortable having that talk before having sex, because everyone's body is so different. You can't just guess your way around a person's body. I mean, you can, but chances are you're not going to get it all right. And chances are that if you have this conversation before you just go into this with your eyes closed, you're going to have a much higher chance at actually pleasuring the other person and getting them there. Exactly. Way more than just like guessing your way around their body just because you're afraid of that conversation. What are you even afraid of?
You're about to have sex. You can have a small chat.
Like, what are you even afraid of? It's so sexy. Like,
it's just asking questions.
You're just asking questions that are perfectly
prepare them
healthy.
In advance. Think
And you're also creating a safe space between you and the person, and open lines of communication with the person, so that you're actually removing the pressure. You're taking the pressure off by having this conversation before you have sex, because then you're both on the same page and you both know your intentions and you know what to expect, and the lines of communication are already open before engaging in intimacy. So during intimacy, you can then refer back to the conversation and like check in with the person. You can like let them know that like you're probably not gonna get there today, like you're feeling numb or whatever. Like you can even talk to them before having sex and let them know sometimes I can't come, if that's your experience. So don't take it personal. And that right there, like at least the person won't have to be like, oh, what's wrong with me? Why can't they come? Is it me? Am I not doing something right? Whatever. There's so many reasons to have this conversation before, and I just really want people to just stop being so shy about it. You're gonna be naked with the person. You're gonna have their genitals in your mouth and in your hands and all over your body. Like just fucking talk, so that you never have to fake an orgasm ever again.
Oh fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I asked the fans if they fake.
You asked fans if they fake?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Let's see what they said.
What are the results? Dun dun dun. Juicy.
They said, okay, so I asked, have you ever faked an orgasm with a woman? 67% said no.
Okay, and we know that their primary
this is on the podcast IG, so this is mostly women. This
mostly
is like
women.
99% women following it.
Right.
And then I asked, have you ever faked an orgasm with a man? 80% yes.
I love that you think it's hilarious.
It is. It's so funny. Oh.
The numbers are always consistent and they don't lie. It's always the same. It's always the same outcome and results every single time with the orgasm gap. So let's all do each other a favor and just fucking talk about sex and what we like and what we don't like, and grow a pair,
Yeah.
There you go.
Like that.
Yeah.
Have a little chit chat.
In a loving way.
Yeah.
Grow a pair.
Yeah.
Have the chat. It's sexy.
Yes.
Is that all for today?
That's all for today, my love.
Well, that's it. Thank you very much for listening to this episode. If you are still here and you still like us, please subscribe and
tell
follow.
Your friends.
Tell your friends. Tell your mom. Tell your dog about this podcast. It's so good. I love it. I think we have a lot of good shit to say. And please let us know if you agree in the comments. Yeah. All right? So have yourselves a beautiful weekend. We'll see you on the next one.
Bye.